In this video, let's go through how to create some custom symbols for our data and then store them for future use. So what I have here on screen is some points that are completely made up, but to represent Christmas light locations down this street. And if we take a quick tour of the data, we can see that we have type and we have color here. So we have some unique values that we can set symbologies by. So I'm going to close this. And I know I had that open really and closed it quickly, but we got snowflakes, trees, and ornaments. Well, let's focus on the trees first. So we want to set this symbology to look different between those three types. So the first thing we need to do is open the symbology for this symbol. And if you don't have this tab, you can right click on it and go to symbology. And we're going to set this to unique values by the type. Alright, now we've got it set up to where we can have three different symbols. You know what? Let me open this attribute table up again. So we've got type and color. I'm going to pull this down a little. And I haven't showed this before, but you can see here how you can add field. You can actually set this up by any combinations of fields you want. So if I go to add field and color, it now says I have 6 unique combinations of the type and the color. So if you're wanting to go that deep with what you're working on, you can. I'm not going to do that for this demo. I just want 3. So I'll remove that field and I'm right back to it. I'm going to click here, double click, to kind of open up the symbology for the tree. Come over to the paintbrush and then the gallery. And if I scroll down in my default libraries here, there's not a good tree icon for a Christmas tree anywhere in here. So I need to make me a custom one. And you may run into this. Well, I'm going to choose to do something simple and just use 3 triangles to represent a Christmas tree. So let's come back over here to the properties. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to come to right here. It is set to a shape marker. I'm going to change the style to this triangle 1. And now I've got these triangles. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Let's go up to say 20. And I'm going to set my color to spruce green. So now that I've got my triangle set and I've got my base color I want to do, and this triangle doesn't have a boundary, I'm going to come to this wrench, and in here you can layer things on top of each other. Since I already did that once and have that the color I want, I'm going to hit this to duplicate it, and I'm going to duplicate it again. So now I've got 3 triangles. They're all right on top of each other. When I come back over here to this little layers, notice that I have all 3, and I can manipulate each one of these. So I'm going to start with, and they are in this order. If I wanted to reorder them, I'd have to go back to the wrench, and you can see these little drag icons here. But I'm going to come over to start at the bottom, and let's size that up to say 30. And then I'm going to give it an offset of the Y as my bottom, so I'm going to go down, I don't know, -5. Let's see what it looks like here. Oh, that's looking like a tree. Good. I'm going to leave the one that we did the first time alone. I'm going to come to this one, and we're going to make it a little smaller, a 10 maybe, and give it an offset upward of 5. And there we go. 5 might be a bit too much on the up. Let's go with 3. And of course, depending on the sizes you pick, this will all look different for it. But there we go. We've got a basic tree. We're just made from 3 triangles. So that's one way to make a custom symbol. Now that it's here, I'm going to come over to, and I've got let's say I like this. We're going to come right here, and we're going to save symbol to style. And let's call this Christmas Tree 1. I want to make a category. I don't have any to pop up. Let's make a category called Christmas and give it, I want it in my favorites. You can give it whatever tags you want. I'm going to hit OK. Now when I come back to my gallery, there it is for future use. I'm going to hit this back arrow to get back to our primary symbology. And I can now, if I come here, I can change that to tree 2. Or I can change it to the snowflake that I made earlier. Okay? So easy peasy to do it that way. Now, things to be aware of are, you notice here that you have a single symbol on this ball and a color. Remember, we got 3 different things. So the more complex these are, the more complicated it is to change the color. I'm going to hit the back. I'm going to change my snowflake to my snowflake I made. And you can, this looks complicated, but it's really just 3 different symbols all laid on top of each other and rotated and colored the way I want them to do. And by doing this with these presets, it can save you a bit of time. Maybe in another video I'll show you how to import something that you've drawn, because if you notice, we can create a shape marker, a picture using an image. 3D markers are procedural markers, and for a shape marker you have a style. I can use fonts, or I can import a SVG file for it. So different ways. So if you've got a good vector image that you want to use, you could create you a new style and import a file to use it. I think that'll wrap it up. You get the basics of how to use these. I just wanted you to know how to make them using these presets, and then more importantly, save them for future use. If you found this helpful, please click like and feel free to subscribe.